buying convertible tank? Okay, I got you one either with sunroof coming.
Yes.
What number you on?
A little bit on the 388 Passat 4.4 green, clean Carfax. Next up, 1.8 SE. They're changing out auctioneer. I guess he's warming up. So it started off exactly where you were saying.
Yeah, I'm saying 21.5. You got a clean trade of 21.9. Clean trade. Yeah.
Miles ain't gonna buy it. 23.2. Jesse,
I let it go.
let it go.
You're $1,000 over clean trade.
All right.
You got a retail 24, and you're $2,000 over black book for Volkswagen.
God bless you. We'll let that one go.
Put on that one. Put on that one. 11 grand. 11.
All right, so as you can see, they're bidding on cars right now. Just bought a what was that? A Passat?
Yeah, that was a
That was a Jetta, white Jetta, good-looking car. But as you can see, it's moving fast. You got auctioneer going through, and the cars are popping up, throwing the pictures in there, the vehicles, you know, exterior, interior, and all the specs and pricing. So that one was around 11.2. Nobody bidded on it, so boom, we got it.
Good morning, it's the vlog right here with Stokes Volkswagen. So the dealership ordered just a few days ago 6 beautiful pre-owned Volkswagens, and they're certified pre-owned Volkswagens. And what I'm doing early this morning on this cold March day in South Carolina is I'm hauling tail to the Volkswagen store to film the 18-wheeler pulling in with these Volkswagen. You can only imagine with weather climates the way they are this year, sleet, snow, rain, whatever weather climates there are, these Volkswagens got to be safe on this 18-wheeler. Let's get out in just a second and take a look. Yeah, it's down in the 40s today. Just last week in South Carolina, it was in the 80-degree range. Today, in the upper 40s. It's cold. What's up, Marcelo?
How you doing?
Good, man. Marcelo, tell us, you know, all right, how long you been transporting vehicles now?
7 years, almost 8 in this moment.
And when you transport vehicles, is there a process to keep the vehicles safe while you're traveling?
Absolutely. We have to regulate them by the DOT. We have to tie them up, measuring the height of the trailer, including the cars, and obviously protect the cars of any inconvenience that we can normally we have, like bad weathers, sand in the road, or even heavy raining days.
Things like that. Okay, so it's important to keep those vehicles safe on the back of the truck.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, how many Volkswagens do you have to drop off here today?
6.
6 Volkswagens.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, let's head on down to the store.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Marcelo.
You're welcome.
All right, so Marcelo, as you just saw, 7 years driving a truck. Yeah, he's got 6 VWs today, certified pre-owned. Let's do this. And let's make sure I don't just fall out at the bottom here, right? Man, do we love our Volkswagens at Stokes Volkswagen? Oh yeah, we do. Basically lower down and get these Volkswagens off safely for the dealership to be able to sell in the near future. All right, let's go inside and meet the guy that actually inspects all the vehicles here at Stokes Volkswagen. His name is Thomas Beard, and he handles this process just after the truck driver pulls the vehicles on the lot. They got to get an inspection before that truck driver leaves to go to his next location.
I think the last one that I pick him up in Palm Beach.
Okay.
And probably I have to take a look inside each one, because in some one I put it in 3 cars and 1 below lady.
All right.
But at each location I make a sign from the manager in that location.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Hey everyone, I'm Thomas Beard. Some of the first things we do when the vehicles are dropped off, I'll go around and do a quick inspection, ensure everything is just as it says on the inspection report when we purchase the vehicle. Also, whenever it's the same on the bill of lading. And I'll also make sure we don't have any flats, the tread's good on the tires. CPOs have to have all 4 same brands, so I check that and compare it with the condition report, because that is a common mistake on the condition report.
Check dents, dings, scratches.
Yes, the ding cannot be bigger than a size of a quarter, and scratches can't be deeper than the surface. The most common ones are rocker panel damage up under here.
It's hard to see it from out here.
Yeah, and then you'll also get damage up under here.
Okay, and that gets seen though when you get in the shop sometimes.
Yeah, and put up on the
And
lift.
by that time the trucker's already gone sometimes?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Well, that's when your arbitration process comes. When purchased through Mannheim or VW Direct, anything like that.
Has that happened before?
Several occasions.
Okay. Now, when you have to deal with the arbitration office, I mean, well, basically who has to pay for that?
Usually it's Volkswagen Credit, because they're the ones putting the vehicles on sale, and they're the ones who are in charge of making sure the condition reports. Well, most of our vehicles we get from VW Direct, because they're all fleece vehicles, things like that.
Okay.
Usually you can get them in much better shape, and they're usually a lot easier to deal with than say purchasing it at Mannheim auction. Anytime I've ever had to do an arbitration with VW Direct, everything's went smooth. I haven't had any issues.
Anything on the interior that you have to look for at all?
Most of the interior stuff, pretty easy. I mean, you want to obviously check and make sure all your headrests are there.
Yeah.
With us, you're only supposed to put mats in there for CPOs if it came with it at the original purchase when it was new. However, we have a blanket rule just to keep from any confusion. We make sure everything has mats. I'll check and make sure it has everything that it came with at the original point of sale. I can tell for the most part. Like if it doesn't have a spare tire, I obviously know it's supposed to come with a spare tire.
And the tools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Chad, well, I just found something here. If even something as little as this right here, we have to remove before it can be certified.
Gotta be removed.
If it's ever been tuned or anything like that, you can't certify the vehicle.
No turbo upgrades, no.
No, nothing like that. Lowering springs, coilovers, anything like that. Everything has to be back to stock before it can be certified. And if it's been flashed, it can never be certified.
Marcelo, once you get all the cars off the truck, what's the next step for you?
Verify all the inspection, the bill of lading, make a sign the inspection from the manager, and it's done deal.
And then boom, 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 up on the road.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Alright, so I already have all these vehicles pre-stocked in to really help us move this process along a little bit quicker. I've already searched up this particular vehicle here. This is a like new certified unit. Well, will be certified unit. So now I'm going to run the ELSA Pro on the vehicle. So all we're going to print out here is the vehicle data, which will be stapled to our certified inspection checklist here and given to our service department. That way they have any information that they need.
Where's the trash?
Hey Tom, you got 2 cars coming in too, by the way.
I got more coming in?
2 more. You just pulled one up. I told him to pull them behind the ones that were lined up on the other side.
Alright, thank you. I'll be out there in just a second. Alright, so actually while I'm trying to write up my first vehicle from the last batch of cars, I've already got another truck pulling up to drop off some more. It's going to be a long day.
All right, everybody, we're in service right now at Stokes Volkswagen. Now, as you saw Thomas do everything he had to do with the truck driver out there, inspected the vehicle, and then Thomas went in his office, wrote the tag names up for the vehicles, put those little tags on there. He takes the keys up to the key track system so they can be programmed into the system with the car and the tag all lined up. After Thomas is done with everything he's done, now the service advisor's part comes into play with a CPO vehicle. He will get a RO, which stands for a repair order. He'll get this printed up and go ahead and assign a technician in the shop to do the CPO inspection on the vehicle.
All right, hey, how you doing? I'm Ted. We're here at Stokes Volkswagen. We're going to walk you through our CPO process. We've got a 2016 Jetta. Got 7,000 miles on it. We're gonna check it out and get it ready for the customer. We're gonna do a quick walk around the car, make sure there's no damage. While I'm here, I'm just gonna make sure all the alarm features work. Trunk works. Panic button works. Lock it up and it beeps. Tires look good, no damage. Let's go ahead and go for a ride.
So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to check the mileage on the repair order, and we do have an accurate mileage. We got the vehicle started and running. We're going to let it idle, make sure we don't have any check engine lights on or any other safety lights, airbag, traction control. Looks good.
Thanks for watching our video this far. This next section is the road test. Here's a list of things that will be covered on the road test. Please take the time to pause the video for a second if you'd like to review the 15 different items on the checklist by Volkswagen.
So one of the things, we're going to get our mirrors set here, check their mileage, make sure we don't have any malfunction indicators on, letting the engine warm up a little bit before we take off on the road. One of the important points of doing a CPO with a cold vehicle is so that we can verify that there are no cold drivability problems, and also so that we can check cold engine performance. And we take our vehicle on a 7-mile test loop. It varies with stop and go traffic. Also has about a 55 mile an hour top speed limit on the main stretch, which gives us a chance to check tire balance and any vibrations or odd noises. It's not just a typical 2-mile back and forth from the dealership down the street, so it gives us an opportunity to fully check out all the features of the vehicle on the roadway. I'm gonna hit the wipers while we're at it here. And it's a low mileage vehicle, but they got some streaking, so we're definitely going to want to replace those for the customer. Don't want to have any minor details like that take away from our product. Engine's still cold, so cruising along, moderate throttle, obeying the speed limit, of course. Nice thing about the stop and go area on the test drive here is you can let the vehicle coast down, gives you a chance to listen for any interior noises. Nice quiet cabin here. Another benefit of a long test drive is you got varying road surfaces, allows you to hear for tire noises. And then of course the varying speeds, different features of the vehicle, different functions of driveline, different resonances and frequencies, so it's good to have that long test drive. I'm gonna pull this over and get rid of our flapping noise because that'll...
So as you can see, Ted's actually getting that sticker off there because, like I mentioned earlier in the video, that flapping sound, for at least on the sales guys, if y'all are out test driving with your customers, that can be distracting, and it can make people uncomfortable even test driving a car for the first time, having to listen to that sound the whole time.
One thing's for certain, we don't want anything to take away from the vehicle and the presentation of the vehicle, especially seeing as we're trying to sell it.
That's right.
Something like a sticker can kill a sale and give a customer an unwelcome feeling about the brand, about the vehicle, about our store, and that would not help us out. We want you to buy a certified pre-owned, but we also have other makes and models in our inventory to fit all your needs. And that's what it's really about in the sales department, is finding the customer's needs, filling them, and win-win, everybody's happy, and it's the way to do business. You know, we are representing a brand, but we want to represent the brand in a way that we're loyal to the brand and we thoroughly inspect the vehicle, because the brand's Volkswagen's putting a warranty on this vehicle that's an extension over the existing warranty. So we want to do them the service of appropriately inspecting the vehicle so that if there are any defects that they're not responsible for, we can take care of those before the warranty's applied. And then the same goes for the customer as well. We don't want to give them a vehicle that hasn't been appropriately inspected and could possibly be unsafe or, you know, incur extra expenses later on. Just coming to a gradual stop here. Brakes feel good, no brake noises. Car's warmed up a little bit. It's kind of chilly, but I'm gonna go ahead and check the AC while we're driving to make sure that all the features work. Direct ventilation, footwell, defrost, combination of all. Coming down a stretch of road here that's 2 lanes. Generally speaking, not a lot of traffic. This is where I like to test my brakes to make sure we don't have any warped rotors or odd noises under a little bit of heavier braking, so we don't have any traffic around. So I'm going to go ahead and put them on pretty good. Car's not pulling any one direction, no odd noises. I like to make 2 or 3 passes at about that rate. Put some heat into the brakings. Make sure we don't have any vibrations or odd noises. Not a bad time to check the acceleration. That's about all we got for the speed limit here. For one good stop. Feels good, feels good. Got great brakes on these vehicles for sure. Go ahead and work the functions. We're going to decelerate. Operation's good there. Accelerate back up. Always want to check the cancel function. It does work, and then that allows me to check the resume function. Go ahead and put it back into drive. I'm actually going to shift it into sport mode. Another feature. Holds the gears a little bit longer, give you a little more acceleration without the transmission having to downshift 2 gears at a time. Coming back to our destination here. Get her pulled into the shop and start checking all our windows and doors individually. Make sure our spare tire is there, inflated to the appropriate pressure. make sure our toolkit's installed. And we'll also do a visual inspection on all the lights front and rear. One of the great features of these cars in this generation is that we have bulb indicators to let us know when we have bulbs in and out, and I rely on those, but once I bring it back into the shop, I go ahead and perform that visual inspection on them to make sure that there are no problems with that system prior to scanning the vehicle. The other nice thing about performing the test drive is getting the fluids up to temperature, because we like to do an oil change on all our certified pre-owned vehicles, and that ensures that we have a nice good oil run out of the engine and we can get all the fresh oil in there that we need. I'm also going to operate the trunk while I'm here, just using all the driver aids. And it's a good time to check the park and brake. I like to put it in gear, the park and brake engage, make sure the vehicle doesn't take off on us, and just got a good feel to it. While we're in the shop on a cold day, you can check your heated mirrors and rear defrost with all the condensation and cold weather on the glass, but if you don't have that, you can just go ahead and turn them on and give them a moment or two and check them out. Make sure that the glass all feels warm to the touch.
Thanks for watching the test drive with me and Ted. Hopefully you enjoyed that and learned something. Our next section here is checking out the exterior, interior, mechanical, and underbody. There's 96 different points of interest here that we'll be going over. FYI, if you hadn't noticed, we literally filmed every part of the CPO vehicle process. We also do believe at Stokes Volkswagen that every part of the process is a best practice. At this point, I'm trying to shorten up the video, so we will cut through some of the stuff that Ted does in the shop. But you're more than welcome to visit Stokes Volkswagen on YouTube and watch all these in-depth videos for your own pleasure.
All right, so go ahead and check the glass. Definitely warm to the touch. I'm going to switch it off. Don't like to run those too long. Check the rear glass. Warm to the touch. Popped our trunk. That feature is operating as it's intended. Lock and unlock's operating. While we're here, it's a good time to check the seat. Fore and aft. Rear tilt. Seat base. Rises and falls. Seatbelt buckles. Height adjuster's nice and smooth. Gonna do the same thing with the rear. Open. Open. Run that window up. One touch up window is very nice. One touch works. Make sure they're all operational. And the same thing, since I'm in here, I'm going to do the drivers. I'm going to check the height adjuster on that belt. I was wearing that belt on the test drive, so I know it works. Make sure our open close function works. Let's make sure we got a toolkit in here. We do. It's like the guy at the PDI didn't put the information label into the owner's manual, so we're going to take care of that. There's our front plate and the hardware. We'll leave that out. Tire feels a little low. Definitely going to pull that out of there and make sure it's got the correct inflation in it. Set that off to the side. Use our strap. Trunk works from the exterior handle. Tag lights are good. How we look? Excellent. Last thing we didn't check was the sunroof for the interior features. We'll go ahead and check that out right now. Got our sunglass holder. Works good. Everybody looks good. Get ready to pop our hood. All right, we moved the vehicle up so we can set it on the lift. Got our hood open, nice and smooth. Prop rod works. Just doing a visual inspection under the hood here. Make sure we don't have any damage. Down here in the warm weather, we get a lot of critters that like to make homes. Coolant level looks good. The vehicle started off hot. Good down between the engine and transmission. I don't see any oil leaks from either components. Pressure regulating valve right here. Can have oil leaks from this area. It's a high fuel pressure pump. Can have fuel leaks. Just doing an all-around visual inspection. All right, let's set the lift. All right, all clear here. One more quick visual inspection. Make sure the vehicle's stable on the lift.
said, let's get the oil draining while we're doing our visual inspection on the rest of the underbody of the vehicle. You guys that are new to these engines, watch out. They like to shoot the oil out of that pan, make a mess everywhere. Generally speaking, the darker the oil, the more used it is. You know, I still have some old timers come in from time to time. They want to know how the oil look, and I like to tell them the same thing, it looked used. Right off the bat here, you can see we got some damage to this body pan. That's not warranty, that's outside influence. So the dealership's going to have to buy that so that we can make this vehicle right for the customer. We'll just set that off to the side for the time being. Chad, there's a checklist. I've been doing this for over a decade, so I know it by heart. Don't ask me to recite it. But as I go over this checklist, if there's anything when I'm filling out the appropriate paperwork that I've missed, I will come back to the vehicle and double check. It's a standard checklist for all our vehicles. You get to know it by heart as you do it enough. Some of the things we're looking at is the bottom of the radiator here. Make sure we don't have any coolant leaking out from a possible impact. You know, again, here's one of these little scuff marks we were talking about. We're not going to decline this vehicle for CPO for that. And again, our detail department will clean that up real well. Boost hoses are all intact. I don't have any oil leaking out of them. Some coolant hoses right here. They look to be installed and routed correctly. The AC lines don't show any dye. Another boost hose here, secure with its clips. Two different styles, but everything's tight. Looking at the transmission itself and at the pan, don't see any fluid leaking down. Here's the drain plug, it's installed properly, no leaks. Here's our transverse mount, or dog bone as it's known. Bushings look good. Don't see any irregular tears in it. Give it a spin and check the inside of that rim. Make sure there's not a flat spot there. That's something that can take away from the overall feel of the vehicle. You've got hydraulic and electrical lines here. Everybody's routed correctly, installed in all their clips. No damage. Rocker panel and jacking rail. If you had a small road debris impact here, as long as it didn't change this body line, it wouldn't be a problem. Sometimes you see with these cars, you have excessive amounts of cosmoline coming back off of them. Nothing to worry about, it's just corrosion protection. I know you guys up north really appreciate the corrosion protection. ABS sensor lines are routed correctly. Everybody's where they're supposed to be, no fluids. If you're out here doing a CPO and you find a tire that's been repaired properly or perhaps repaired improperly, that's something that you don't want to have on a CPO vehicle. The customer's buying a new tire. And here we are, here's why we do these tread inspections. If you look right here, we've got an object.
Got a nice close up of it, yeah. That looks like a nail.
A little nail or screw. So give it a little spray with some soapy water. Up, I see some bubbles coming out already. We have a procedure to repair tires properly for customers, but if you're buying a new car, you don't want to have a repaired tire on it. Make sure our seal's nice and clean, no excessive dirt. Couple other things we'll do here. We'll check the air filter. We'll go ahead and pull out the cabin filter, make sure there's no debris in there. Didn't experience any unpleasant odors while driving the vehicle and operating the AC. And like I said, outside of a tire, a set of wipers, and a belly pan, looks like a really good CPO. Check the window glass, no chips. Wiper arms, operation side mirrors, appearance, antenna. Taking a look at window glass, paint finish. You can never look at the car too much, you know. We checked our lights here a moment ago, checked all our brake lights, checked our door lock and unlock features with the remote. We checked all the interior and exterior handles. We know our toolkit's there. Got to put some air in our spare tire. Checked our panic button. Upholstery of the car looked really clean, low mileage vehicle. Checked all our seat belts. Didn't have any warning lights on in the dash. We will scan the vehicle and make sure there's no faults in the system that need to be addressed. And, you know, body systems, transmission, brakes, airbag. So at this point, we're going to go ahead, we're going to start getting our estimates together with our repair order. Just doing another double check of the checklist here. I don't have my dirty gloves on, making sure I didn't miss anything before we take the car off the lift. We know we need a splash shield, we know we need a tire, we know we need a set of wipers, still need to add nitrogen to these vehicles. We perform a courtesy four-wheel alignment check and an alignment if the car is out of specifications on all these vehicles as they come in. All right, so now we got our car on the rack here. We're going to perform our complementary alignment. Here at Stokes, part of our CPO process, if the car is on the rack and it shows anything in red that's going to affect tire wear, we're going to adjust it to ensure that the car drives and tracks straight. Now, we test drove this vehicle. The wheel was good and center line. However, that doesn't mean that there's not a component that's misaligned that's going to affect tire wear and cause a problem for the customer, and that's not how we want to represent our brand. We also do this complementary alignment on all vehicles. You just come to our service department and ask. It's free of charge. It's a great value. It's something we really like to do here at Stokes Volkswagen. All right, so we got our alignment finished up. We got all our bolts tightened down and torqued. We're going to take it out on a final road test to ensure that the alignment was done properly, that the steering wheel is straight as we're driving, and that there are no irregular pulls or sensations going on while driving. After that, we'll take this jet over to the detail department, get it cleaned up and ready for front line.
I get a phone call at like, I don't know, what time did you call me today, Brad? Around 1 o'clock?
1:30, yeah.
Yeah, 1:30. He's like, hey, do you got the keys to this car? He's like, I'm selling it. I'm like, no, I don't have the keys. The technician had them. Anyways, needless to say, I'm here in the afternoon and we're continuing on with the filming process of a certified pre-owned car. Brad is making sure this car gets cleaned and ready because he's selling it to his brother-in-law tonight. So this is going to be really special. So hang tight. Here we go.
Every certified pre-owned Volkswagen comes with a full tank of gas. We treat you just like a new car buyer. So I'm going to go run up to the gas station, fill it up, and I'll meet you back up front.